I want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work.
Beyoncé got Kanye'd again, this time by her husband Jay-Z, and again when Taylor Swift got Album of the Year at the Grammys for the 4th time. But also, Jay-Z apparently cancelled his pre-Grammy party just to uninvite Diddy, and Diddy is threatening to expose the Grammys and other people in the industry. Okay, before we get into Diddy madness, let's first break down how Jay left his wife feeling uncomfortable and why Beyoncé is now feeling embarrassed. So, Jay was accepting the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award established in 2023, and while he accepted the award, he also took his time to call out the Grammys. One of the things he said is that Beyoncé is due for that Album of the Year award, which she has never won. For reference, Beyoncé has been nominated for Album of the Year on 5 separate occasions. The first one was in 2010 for I Am Sasha Fierce. Then a year later, as a featured artist on Lady Gaga's The Fame Monster. After that, she was nominated for Album of the Year in 2015. Then she got nominated for Lemonade in 2017. And the most recent nomination was for Renaissance in 2023. According to some people, Lemonade in particular looked like a sure Album of the Year winner. I mean, we can all agree that Beyoncé really won when she explored the emotional impact of Jay-Z cheating on her to how she addressed generational pain as well as racial inequality. Let me not even start with how she blended genres using reggae, rock, hip-hop, soul, funk, country, and electronica, and the accompanying visual album. Yeah, that was insane. That year, Adele was the one who won Album of the Year. And in her acceptance speech, Adele also said that if there was one person who deserved Album of the Year...
And I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful and gracious, but my artist of my life is Beyoncé, and this album for me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental, Beyoncé. It was so monumental and so well thought out and so beautiful and soul-bearing, and we all got to see another side to you that you don't always let us see, and we appreciate.
But Jay-Z definitely agrees that his wife has been snubbed for far too long, and he made it clear that he believes Beyoncé should have won Album of the Year at some point during her career. To a lot of people, including Jay-Z, it's ridiculous that even though Beyoncé has over 30 Grammys, literally just one of her 32 Grammy wins has come in the Big Four category, which basically constitutes Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. Single Ladies won Song of the Year in 2010, but other than that, all other wins have been in genre categories, which clearly isn't enough for her and Jay as well. What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they're together, but they're living separate, and part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. You know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're going to see Beyoncé's war, honey. The day of reckoning is finally here with us, y'all. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are putting up a united front in the media, but if word on the street is anything to go by, they're both locked in a private battle behind the scenes that may lead to divorce. Both of their teams are allegedly leaking information about what's going on, with Beyoncé's team saying that she's the one pulling the plug and Jay-Z's team saying he is the one who is fed up with the relationship. Regardless of who is pulling the plug, the bottom line is a divorce is on the way, allegedly. So according to what most people have observed, you can clearly see in their eyes that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are not in love, especially when it comes to Beyoncé. It's like she's not into him anymore, and there's really no spark in her eyes. In fact, many people are of the opinion that when Beyoncé is with Jay-Z, they look more like best friends or even siblings. And you know what has fueled the rumors of a separation even further? The speech that Jay-Z gave at the Grammys? The look on Beyoncé's face said it all. And there were even reports after the speech that Beyoncé was embarrassed and just wanted to leave. Actually, videos from the award ceremony showed that the Carters left right after the speech because Beyoncé was allegedly uncomfortable. I hate to break it down to y'all, but according to recent reports, this marriage has allegedly been broken for a long time. In fact, There have been reports claiming that Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been living separately for a while now, and the rift probably happened sometime before 2014. Of course, you all recall that after the Met Gala in 2014, footage surfaced of Beyoncé's sister Solange seemingly attacking Jay in an elevator at an after-party. And the rumor was that she attacked her brother-in-law because he cheated on Beyoncé. At the time, the family released the following statement.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. You know that once that comes out, and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're going to see Beyonce.
There has been a great deal of speculation about what triggered the unfortunate incident, but the most important thing is that our family has worked through it. Jay and Solange each assume their share of responsibility for what has occurred. They both acknowledge their role in the private matter that has played out in the public. That is what they fed the public. But behind the scenes, things were apparently not good at all. Like Beyoncé's cousins even said at the time that she was so close to filing a divorce that in 2016, BA dropped Lemonade, which was literally a breakup album. But it really looked like they worked things out, with Beyoncé giving Jay-Z shout-outs here and there. But again, behind the scenes, things were reportedly not so good, even though they had their twins soon after. Maybe the kids were supposed to mend things, but we all know what happens when people decide to have babies as a solution to a broken marriage. Baby, it never ends well. Now, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been able to keep up appearances for all these years, but reportedly that's going to be hard moving forward because Jay is up next to be exposed the Diddy style, y'all. In case y'all haven't heard, insiders are saying that Diddy has no intention of going down alone. As a matter of fact, he has allegedly started snitching, and based on reports, the next person we expect to follow suit is Jay-Z. These two have been always pretty close until recently when Diddy was exposed, but with Diddy allegedly snitching on him is not looking good in Jay's camp. What you need to know, guys, is that Jay-Z is not young. What is the significance of Rymir Cwe's paternity case against Jay-Z? And how has Jay-Z reportedly been avoiding addressing it? What role has Diddy played in the unfolding drama, particularly with his alleged plans to expose industry secrets? So that means that a lot of the things he did in the past are not on social media. That's why he's managed to keep things quiet this far. But it does not mean that people have not been spilling the tea. Let me tell y'all something. The first person who we expect to expose Jay is reportedly his dear wife, Beyoncé, probably after the divorce becomes public. For starters, the timeline of when they started dating has always been suspicious. Beyoncé said in interviews that she was 18 when they first met and 19 when they first started dating. But based on folks who were around back in the day, Jay started hooking up with Beyoncé when she was much younger, as young as Foxy Brown when he hooked up with her. This was allegedly a romantic thing. It's all right, I'll say alleged, but we know, Yeah, she hit it before, Beyoncé allegedly. Sometime back, there were allegations that Jay took Foxy's V-card when he was 27 and she was in her teens. And he funded her shopping trips all while paying for her hair and nail salon visits while she was still in high school. See, the thing about Jay-Z is that he pays to keep things hidden from the headlines. With Beyoncé, he married her, but with Foxy, there have been reports that he still pays her to keep the details of what happened between them a secret, which would explain why, when Foxy was questioned about the true nature of their relationship, she told TMZ, "The atrociousness of this story sickened me to my stomach. Any and everyone involved will be contacted by my attorney. In all my years in the music industry, these are the most disgusting and disrespectful allegations I've ever experienced. This fictitious story with no audio, visual, or written interview clearly was concocted with malicious intent, but you know who Jay-Z has been unable to pay off. Rymir Cwe's family. Baby Rymir has been trying for almost a decade to try and get Jay-Z to take a paternity test to prove he is his father. But apparently, Jay-Z used his power and influence to block that fraternity test. Based on what Rymir spilled, his mother, Wanda, hooked up with Jay-Z in 1992 at his aunt's apartment in Brooklyn, New York, after Jay first picked her up in Philadelphia. And the story is that they used protection, but it failed, and other than a visit from him 2 weeks later, they never saw each other again. And she had no idea how to contact Jay-Z when she found out she was pregnant in 2011. Wanda even filed a civil lawsuit in New Jersey seeking child support from Jay. But the lawsuit was ultimately dismissed because it was filed in the wrong state and was never refiled. At the time, Jay-Z's lawyer also stated that Jay was not an interested party with respect to the custody of Rymir, and since then, it's been a long battle for Rymir, trying to get Jay-Z to do a paternity test. But Jay has never agreed to one. Now, according to Rymir, Jay-Z has been using his wealth and power to avoid taking a paternity test. And he revealed how he was denied a fair hearing in court because of legal mistakes and malpractice. He's even gone for his own lawyers, accusing them of colluding with Jay-Z's legal team to help him get out of taking the test. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud, collusion, who knows what it's for? Money or friendships or whatever they got going on. But I can honestly say that we should never go in the courtroom feeling like we're all ready to, and we did nothing wrong. Okay, riddle me this. What reason would Jay have to hide a child he had so long ago? He wasn't even known like that back then, and his first album hadn't even been released. So what image was there to protect? And how would him having a child back then mess up his image? Well, guess what? It's possible that Jay-Z is denying the allegations because when he allegedly hooked up with Wanda, he was 22, and she was 6 years younger. Do the math, and you will understand why he refuses to have that DNA test done. Wanda's age when she hooked up with Jay-Z is actually something that Wanda's godmother noted when she said, "I got a call from his in-house lawyer, and they were very helpful, and we thought we would resolve this privately. They even talked about Rye's music talent and whether it was a good time to put him on the record label, but he had to finish high school. So I said no." Suddenly, different lawyers got involved, and their attitude completely changed. I think they realized there was more at stake for Sean, given that Wanda was allegedly underage. Now, y'all know, even before Diddy's cases were made public, there were interviews behind the scenes for about a year, and the things that were made public were not even half of what happened. In Cassie's case particularly, Jay-Z and Beyoncé were mentioned in the original document, and I don't know in what context, but they were edited out of the lawsuit. So it's possible that as we speak, there are already interviews and cases being put together. And if word on the street is anything to go by, Beyoncé won't be by his side when things go down. But what do you think? Is a divorce between Beyoncé and Jay-Z inevitable? Is Jay just counting the days before the first official case against him? Okay, I agree that it was smart for Jay to say what he said when Beyoncé was not nominated for Album of the Year. You know, so it doesn't look like the others didn't deserve it. But it became a big deal because it so happens that Taylor Swift is the one who won Album of the Year again.
And the Grammy goes to Taylor Swift.
Also, the streets are saying that Taylor was such a disgrace for grabbing her Grammy from Celine Dion's hands without even looking at her or giving her a hug. People are saying that she should have acknowledged her appreciation for receiving it from her, especially given the fact that Celine was even able to be there amidst her immense struggles. Anyway, I'm not focused on that right now, because I can't get past how Beyoncé was just somewhere thinking people are going to think I have an agenda against Taylor, given of course how Kanye West once took the microphone from her hand during an acceptance speech, told her he would let her finish, and said that Beyoncé's Single Ladies video was one of the best videos of all time. And while the Beehive may agree with Jay, there are people who said that it doesn't matter that Beyoncé didn't win Album of the Year. For instance, Whoopi Goldberg said on The View that considering Beyoncé has over 30 other Grammy wins, it doesn't really matter that she hasn't won this particular category.
Yes. So for me, it doesn't matter if they give her that album. I mean, and listen, it's subjective.
Yeah.
People are voting. You can't determine who's doing it unless you're the person voting. So I think 38 is kind of not a terrible number.
So I kind of appreciate all of that, and they're not for just one thing. Yes, for me, she is. It doesn't matter if they give her that album. I mean, and listen, it's subjective. People are voting. You can't determine who's doing it unless you're the person voting. So I think 38 is kind of not a terrible number. Other people also agreed that as much as Jay has the right to talk about whatever he wants during his speech and defend his wife, it is a bad look when Ba has won so much already. I mean, he would have had a point if she was always snubbed for most awards, but that is far from reality. Some people also said that if Beyoncé wrote the music and lyrics for an entire album, she would probably have a shot at winning. But as long as she keeps sampling other artists and needing 3,000 people to write the lyrics to one song, she's probably never going to win. Honey, a lot of people may not agree with Jay-Z saying that Beyoncé deserves to win Album of the Year, but we can all agree that he was right on one thing. Some people really did get robbed, and others didn't deserve to be in any category. Some of you going to go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you made it raw. Some of you don't belong in the category. No. That was it. No. When I get nervous, I tell the truth. I mean, y'all want to tell me that Lana Del Rey didn't win anything. Nothing at all. Elle was robbed for sure. Anyway, awards aside, did y'all know that Jay-Z apparently canceled his Grammy brunch partly because of Diddy? Based on what the streets are saying, Jay-Z didn't know how to uninvite Diddy to the party, and because he couldn't just tell it to his face, he decided to cancel the party. Apparently, Diddy was planning on showing up to the party, and his +1 was supposed to be Clive Davis, who, by the way, has made it very clear that he supports Diddy amidst everything that has been going on with him. But Jay-Z was like, no sir, y'all are not dragging those freak-off talents to my party. Allegedly, Jay-Z no longer wants anything to do with Diddy cause, as we figured out, Diddy is a sinking ship and Jay wants nothing to do with it, baby. It gets even juicier, cause Blind Item said that Jay-Z created a whole other private party, one that did not have Diddy on the invite list. Child, if anything, Diddy should not be surprised that Jay-Z has cut him off. Are we not speaking about the same man who sold out and left his then business partner, Dame Dash, out of the Rockefeller deal? The very same one who used Kanye West to revive his rap career and threw him to the wolves. Of course, he was going to cut off Diddy, who at that point is really a sinking ship. Speaking of Diddy, he was also not in attendance at the Grammys, even though he was nominated for Best Progressive R&B Album for his The Love album. Off the grid, Diddy's rep said that he would not be attending, and while they made it look like it was his choice, it's possible that the organizers didn't want him there as well, for obvious reasons. Allegedly, several key players, including several high-profile African-American members, feared that inviting him would send the wrong message to audiences and various charities. Reportedly, several publicists also asked that their artist not be seated next to him, and it was all just a logistic nightmare to invite him. But you know what Blind Items are also saying? That behind the scenes, Diddy is actually planning to take down as many people as he can with him. He's basically like, y'all want to uninvite me to parties and award shows and distance yourselves from me? I am taking all of you down with me. Child, if that is what Diddy is cooking, I am here for all the messy tea and everybody that he is about to snitch on. But do you think he's actually going to take people down with him? Will Jay-Z be among the people he takes down with him? I am also dying to know your thoughts on Jay-Z basically being Beyoncé's mouthpiece and saying that Ba deserves Album of the Year. Sources close to Ba are already saying that Beyoncé was embarrassed, which is why they walked out of the Grammys right after Jay's speech. But in your opinion, does Beyoncé actually deserve to win Album of the Year for the album she has released so far? Sound off in the comment section below. Child, let me tell you, the drama in the music industry is reaching new heights, and it's got everyone talking. Just when you thought Beyoncé had seen it all, she's back in the spotlight, this time thanks to her husband Jay-Z, who took a jab at the Grammys during his acceptance speech. Now, we all know Queen Bey has been snubbed for Album of the Year multiple times despite her countless Grammy wins. Jay didn't hold back, calling out the Grammys for overlooking her yet again, and you can bet Beyoncé was feeling some type of way about it. But hold up, the drama doesn't stop there. Jay-Z's cancellation of his pre-Grammy party just to uninvite Diddy? Honey, that's a whole new level of petty. And Diddy, he's not taking it lying down. Rumor has it he's ready to expose everyone and anyone in the industry. Now let's talk about Jay-Z's shady past. Allegations of underage relationships with Foxy Brown and now a paternity case with Rymir Cwe. It's a messy situation to say the least, and let's not forget about Beyoncé's rumored discomfort in her marriage. Could this be the beginning of the end for music's power couple? But wait, there's more. Taylor Swift snatching that Grammy from Celine Dion's hands? Child, that's just rude. And don't even get me started on Diddy's absence from the Grammys. Is he plotting his revenge behind the scenes? So many questions, so much drama. One thing's for sure, the music industry is in for a wild ride. And as for Beyoncé and Jay-Z, well, it looks like their fairy tale romance might be coming to an end. But hey, in the world of music, anything can happen. Stay tuned, y'all.